Hi everyone. My name is Sudat Saman, and I wanted to introduce to a course that we are offering this coming spring, which is Advanced Topics in Biotechnology. So, the, as a definition of biotechnology, is a technology used on systems and organisms to study and discover products that involves making changes to DNA, the genes, proteins, knowing the function of the proteins, how can proteins be linked to be as markers for certain diseases, and in general, we study cellular components and we analyze them in regards of their uh, functions that are linked to their genes and linked to their proteins. Uh, topics Topics covered in this course: neuroengineering. So we try to understand the rewiring of the brain and how we can stimulate different parts of the brain uh, and how we can rewire different parts of the body to different areas in the brain. Biomechanics, it is a very important area actually. So it is not just the making of the artificial hands or artificial parts. We try to look at, for example, what a 3D printer does in this field. We try to understand how these different hands and parts that are made can aid or help the individual in their life in a better way. Medical imaging has advanced in a great way. It has helped us to understand our body. For example, now we have 3D imaging, MRIs, and we try to understand how an MRI works. Uh, Bioinformatics, after the discovery of the Human Genome Project, a huge amount of data has came out from our genome, and how can we use certain programs to analyze such data and make sense of them? Drug delivery methods, that gets us into the topic of nanoparticles and nanomaterial, and how we can, in a way, deliver certain medications to certain parts of the body that are hard to, penetrate or get to, such as, reaching the brain and how we can bypass the brain-blood barrier. Uh, Biomedical sensors, very, very interesting topic. You know, for example, if you have a watch that checks your blood pressure, checks your heart rate, this is what we get into. And it's not just about the body. For example, pH sensors that are out there. So, uh, again, it's a very interesting area, and it has a lot of investments in it and interest in it. Tissue engineering, uh, making body parts in the lab, pretty much. We focus and take a look at how different methods of making body parts. We focus on how tissues and body parts are made for the purpose of bypassing the donor problem. Um, Medical biotechnology, we look at mainly on protein markers that are linked to certain diseases. So in my lab currently we're working on, I have a group of students that are working on prostate cancer, and there is a protein marker that we are searching for that can be linked to prostate cancer, which can be a marker for it. Uh, Forensic biotechnology in general is, if you're interested in forensic sciences, how different DNA and proteins and RNA methods have been used in this field. Agricultural biotechnology, how can we uh, make a DNA that of a plant that can, in a way, could scare off certain insects, for example. It gets us into the topic of looking at genetically modified food, advantages of it, disadvantages of it. Plasmid biotechnology. The plasmid is basically what is found a small DNA in a bacteria. How can we, in a way, manipulate that plasmid for our own purpose of producing products, The simple example we can give is looking at how we can add a gene for insulin as part of the plasmid and pretty much making insulin. So there's other methods and ways and products that are produced by manipulation of a plasmid. Um, Now, with it, we do cover topics of bioethics, so the ethical part of all these topics that we look at. We also cover topics in patents, and you make a product. How can you patent the product? What is required from you to protect yourself? So these are the topics that are covered in biotechnology. Thank you. If you are interested in this course, please contact me. So I have my email, and email me, and I will explain further what the course will contain, and will be happy to help you. Thank you very much.